luckily we have it.
Okay, that's fine.
So we have a backup copy. But he's coming.
That's what, yeah, I figured.
No, I know, you know what, I got a few comments last time.
Yeah. We read all of them, but, I mean, we will respond.
Yeah, no, I'm behind on my emails for sure. So just catching up, but,
I'm always here.
well, me too. You don't want to know how many I have on my desktop. I bet I beat you.
5 minutes late.
He's 5 minutes late? Yeah. Okay, well, you can start without him, right?
Okay, whatever works. Whatever you want to do.
We have a minute or two.
Yeah.
We'll fudge for a minute.
Not quite 6 yet. I don't know what happened.
Yes, it is. All right.
Oh, here's a book.
Okay, well, that's pretty funny. What is that doing there?
Great Jesus sports.
All right, if anybody's bored, just don't ask for it during my talk. You found a book that you all need. Great Jews in sports. It's not that thick.
Anyone lost?
People listening to this particular yeah, what else is doing on our email? We'll leave it that.
I guess we have a lost and found on our Bima.
I guess we must. If just to well, if it makes you all feel any better, and you want some more academic stuff, this is the Champion of Hebrew Bible. A lot of
I need to read that.
This will, if you need to sleep at night, you can take this one home. Or I'll just give you my repertoire, and that one will fall asleep too. Either one, right? Yeah. All right.
We could open her. Anthony just got here.
Perfect. Anthony's here. We are going to get going. A little bit of sunshine here. Oh, that was good. Those of you here last week, you know that Cantor Ken was holding down the fort, and I know he did a beautiful, beautiful job. And I get to hold down the fort for him this week with Orit, as he is enjoying a Shabbat with his mom far away, which is very nice. So we are going to get going. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. I'm a little famished because normally you're here.
Here, yes. Now
So
he's
now
here.
I have to like wave at you over there, but it'll probably help
Him see me. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that way you're not like. Okay, so we will we'll adapt. But welcome one and all. We're glad you're here. Despite what's going on outside our walls, we are going to welcome in Shabbat with a sense of spirit and community and togetherness as we begin with our Shabbat Nigun on page nothing. No page. We're just going to follow with Orit as we go.
Lai lai la lai lai la lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai lai la lai 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 la la lai lai Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalai lai lai lai.
Let's turn over to page 5. There you will find Shalom Aleichem, our hymn welcoming in the Shabbat angels to our midst, bringing that spirit of Shabbat with them. Page 5 at the bottom.
Shalom Aleichem. עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לי שלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We turn back to page 4 and we rise. There you will find towards the bottom of the page the blessing for lighting the candles, Hadlakat Neirot, as we pause to bring that sense of light of Shabbat to us.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר וציוונו להדליק נר וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
You may be seated. We turn forward to page 11. There you will find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat as we again welcome in that sense of spirit and song for Shabbat. 11, page 11.
לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע, נריע, לצור אישנו לקדמה פניו בתודה. נריע, נריע, לצור אישנו, בזירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני.
On page 16, you'll find the words Or Zarua, the light is shown, the light of righteousness, the light of the upright, the joy of the upright. We join together the last 4 lines on the page.
אור זרוע לצדיק ולאיש אל
word lot, tzaddik. Tzaddik, we talk about the root of tzaddik, it's tzedakah. Anybody know what tzedakah is? What do? We give tzedakah, right? Tzedakah is an act of righteousness. It's an act of good. It's an act of being right. In the Torah portion for this week of Shoftim, we begin with tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice you shall pursue. And we're reminded from this psalm that working towards righteousness, towards justice, towards doing the things that we need to do to make the world better, that's when we can bring light to the world. It's a wonderful end of the 97th Psalm. Keep that theme in mind this Shabbat as we study the portion of Shoftim that really, again, keys us towards the importance of pursuing tzedek, pursuing righteousness in our lives. We continue over on page 20. There you'll find the last three lines, our song Ramamu.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
On page 21, you'll find Mizmor LeDavid, our 29th psalm. We have the custom of rising for this psalm as we join together. Please rise.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, איי איי איי, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים. אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, איי איי איי, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו ורעמים, איי איי איי, כל אדוני חוטב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחלל איילות, ויחשוף יערות ובהיכלו, כולו אומר כבוד, איי איי איי, אדוני למבול ישב, ישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. איי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי die, 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 die.
You're welcome to be seated. Page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as our bride or queen into our midst. We usually, I think, when we do the first two and the last two,
And
right?
last two, right? Yep.
First two verses on page 23, last two verses on page 25. And when we get to that very last verse, you see we have the custom of standing and rising, facing the door as we literally welcome in the Shabbat bride or queen to our midst, just as the mystics did and do in Sfat in Israel. So page 23, first two verses.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. Shabo v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad le'shem ul'tiferet ve'letila lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla.
Page 25.
Yamin u'smol tifrosi v'et Adonai ta'aritzi. Al yad ish ve'partzi ve'nislecha ve'nagila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat.
We rise and face the door for the last verse on 25.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני אור סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה. lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha Dodi
may be seated. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir as we join together.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון מכינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הנן. מה גודלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 28, by the little arrow, you'll find once again the words tzaddik katamar. You'll find the word tzaddik again from the word tzedakah, from the word tzedek for justice or righteousness, or again, we use the word tzedakah in charity. We conclude the 92nd Psalm, the Psalm for Shabbat, with those words, the righteous flourish like a date palm and thrive like the cedar of Lebanon. We strive again for tzedek, for righteousness in our world. Page 28.
צדיק כתמר יפרח, כי ארץ בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ועננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
Page 29.
עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נא וקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Page 30, you'll find Kaddish Tom, our first mourner's Kaddish of the evening. Those reciting mourner's Kaddish, if you'll rise and join with me, page 30. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulomei olmaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. So not long ago, I was in the library, believe it or not, once it opened up, with my 8-year-old Jonah, who is a prolific reader. He loves to read. In fact, he and Matthew, I think, read similar things, because whenever I see Matthew with a book, and they're the same age, right? You guys are reading the same thing. Dog Man, Captain Underpants, right? Yeah. He's nodding. So Jonah, we're in the aisle of the graphic novels, because graphic novels are very popular these days, right? That's what Dog Man is. And Captain Underpants too, I think. So my boy is very attuned to those and loves them. And so we're in the row where we find all the graphic novels. And off to the left on that same row, I see one of my favorite things, which is Peanuts. Right? So those of you old school, right? Charles Schulz's Peanuts is sitting there, a bunch of different books. And I came to the conclusion, I'm like, you know what? Those are early graphic novels. When I grew up, there's no Dog Man graphic novels. Everyone know what a graphic novel is, right? Open it up, it looks like cartoons kind of thing, right? With dialogue and pictures and everything, keeps the kids very engaged. Well, when I grew up, that was our graphic novel. Except it usually wasn't too much in book form. We used to watch it on TV. We used to read it in the newspaper and the comic strip. But it's one of my all-time favorite comic strips. So I pulled out a few of the Peanuts books, and I gave them to Jonah, and now he's hooked. He loves them. And he realizes, yes, I know, Susan's like, yay, right? That's how I feel. That's why we have kids. Don't we have kids so that we can pass down all the things that we love, right? We want them to love the same things and get excited about it? Well, not everything, but at least this one he did. So, of course, this is the cartoon, if you don't know what Peanuts is, it's the cartoon that chronicles the exploits of Charlie Brown and his gang of funny friends. And what I love about Peanuts is that it is a treasury of thought and philosophy and wisdom couched in very simple humor. And one particular comic strip, finds Charlie Brown reading the newspaper as Snoopy. Who's Snoopy? The insightful beagle, right, who, without really ever saying anything, speaks volumes of wisdom. He's snoozing atop his doghouse. And I suppose, being a fact that I was once a mom to 2 beagles and grew up with beagle dogs, I can't help but appreciate this cartoon all the more. So here's Charlie Brown. There's Snoopy the beagle snoozing atop his doghouse quietly. And Charlie Brown looks up at him and declares, "Today is the first day of February." Snoopy, suddenly waking up from his snooze, becomes extremely upset and cries out, "February? What happened to July? Where's the time going? I can't keep up. All the things I have to do, the places I want to go, things I want to see." After getting so upset, in the last frame of the strip, we find Snoopy, and you know what's coming, right? Back in his usual spot, laying atop his doghouse without a care in the world, deep in a restful sleep. Well, Snoopy's actions certainly represent, I think, our own natural human tendency to be complacent or to procrastinate. Somehow the days seem to pass so quickly, and we find that it is easier to put things off until another day or until the distant future than it is to focus ourselves on what we should be doing right now. I know whenever I have a day off, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get all these things done. I got to call this one. I got to change that. I got to do this in the house. By the end of the day, if I'm lucky, I've done one thing on my long list. So we have that natural human tendency, just like Snoopy in the strip. Well, during this month of Elul, this is the month that precedes Rosh Hashanah, the month of Elul on our calendar. Jewish tradition tells us that we don't just kind of say, hey, the holidays are coming, great, but we prepare ourselves for the arrival of the new year. And throughout this month, for those of you who have tuned into Morning Minyan, what did we do this morning? We blew the shofar. Custom is that we blow the shofar each morning, which, like Charlie Brown's announcement, is meant to really wake us up from our spiritual slumber. And that slumber that has set in since our last high holiday season, the shofar comes each morning on the month of Elul to say, hey, wake up, time to get ready. It reminds us that now, before the new year actually arrives, is the time to focus our attention upon the priorities that we have in life. We're to examine what we did not accomplish in the past year and find new goals and aspirations to set for the coming year. We're challenged to look at the present and then to begin doing that which we know we should be doing now, not tomorrow or next year. So this is our month to key us into what's primary and important in our lives and spur us to start that work now, to look spiritually inward and to get moving now, not waiting for that Rosh Hashanah to come or for Yom Kippur after it. But now is the time, says the shofar in the month of Elul. So as you move through this month of Elul, and we count down the days to our new year and to the arrival of Rosh Hashanah, consider the words of the poet Grenville Kleiser, who wrote the following: "There are many fine things which we mean to do someday, under what we think will be more favorable circumstances. But the only time that is surely ours is the present. Hence, now is the time to resolve to improve ourselves. Now is the time to speak a word of appreciation or sympathy, and to do the generous deed for others. Now is the time to forgive the fault of a thoughtless friend, and to sacrifice ourselves a little more for those in need. Today is the day we must express our noblest qualities of mind and heart, and do at least one worthy thing which we have long postponed. Today is the day to use our God-given abilities to improve our lives and to enrich the lives of those less fortunate than ourselves. Today, we can make our lives significant and worthwhile, accomplish what we can, endure what we must, and understand what we may. The present is ours, a gift in our hands. May we come to see that now is the time to act, grow, and change." I pray that we take the wisdom of the poet and we use this month of Elul as that time to see what we must be doing now. And I hope that Elul will be for all of us a time of thinking, a time of acting, a time of growing and changing. And that way, when 5782 arrives in just a few weeks, we can make it indeed a year, we hope, of good health, of happiness, and of sweetness for all. Shabbat Shalom. We move forward into our evening service, and the evening service reflects a lot of the priorities that we see and that I've just talked about. The idea of connecting with God, of connecting with our community, of love for one another, of righteousness, of bringing shalom, of bringing a sense of peace to the world. So as we go through the evening service, perhaps think about Charlie Brown and Snoopy on his doghouse, and think about the ways that we need to wake ourselves up. The liturgy helps us do that. As each page is turned, we remind ourselves we have the ability to change, and now is the time to do it. We turn over to page 39A. There you will find the beginning of the evening service. We rise as we join together in Baruch Hu. are welcome to be seated. We're in the middle of 39a.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו על חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבי.
Amen. Page 40, you'll find Ahavat Olam, the word Ahava meaning love. We bring love to the world through the mitzvot, and we bring love to the connection we have with God. Page 40.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נראה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נראה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נראה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נראה יומם ולילה ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 41.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We join together in the English on 41, the V'ahavta together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Describe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Amen. We continue over on page 44. There you'll find the words in bold, Mi Chamocha, the second paragraph at the top. These were the words that our ancestors recited as they crossed into freedom, celebrating their freedom from slavery in Egypt. We join together, top of 44.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי אנו ואמרו, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי אנו ואמרו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. ונאמר כי בדה אדוני את יעקב והגיע לו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer for peace as we end the day and as we begin again tomorrow. We pray that we can have a better day, a day of peace, a day where we can get rid of the enemies and pestilence, sword, starvation, the things that prevent us from making the world the way it needs to be. Page 45, we read together in the English. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. Page 45 on the right.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והורידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והורידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והורידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים העמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
On page 46, we rise as we join together in Vishamru, again reminding ourselves of our connection to God through the covenant of Shabbat. Page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Middle of 46, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ועל מעל מאיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דהמירן מעלמה וימרו אמן.
You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening beginning on pages 47 through 52. As always, please feel free to add your own personal words to the words on the page, and when you're through, you're welcome to be seated.
Shalom Rav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Betov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Israel Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Page 173, if you'll turn forward, talked earlier about adding your own personal thoughts and meditations to the words on the page. This is one way we do that. We add a special prayer for healing. We add special reflections for spiritual, emotional, physical healing that we all need and our world needs. So page 173 on the far left, there you will find our Misha Berach from Debbie Friedman as we sing together.
Sheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Refuah Shlema. You turn back in your Siddur to page 54. There you'll find Kaddish Shalem.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ויעלמה דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו,
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ועלמי ויפרח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ואמרו אמן תתקבץ לא תהון ובתהון דכל ישראל קדם אבוהון די ושמיה ואמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
If you turn to page 55, there you will find Kiddush for the Shabbat. We rise as we take a cup of grape juice in hand. We toast Shabbat. We pray for the sweetness of this holiday. Page 55. Thank you.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן
Chaim. We remain standing as we turn to page 56. There you will find Aleinu again as we join together.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים מן העל ושכינתו זו בגב מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ניתחת אין עוד ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו
You may be seated. We get some high notes there. Wow.
Trying out some new things.
One day the glass is just beautiful. As we turn to page 58, there you will find Kaddish Atom, our Mourner's Kaddish. And as we recite Mourner's Kaddish tonight, we continue to extend our condolences and give our hugs of support to David Fisher on the death of his father, Alec Fisher. Continues through the Shloshim for another few more days. We also mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and the week that will be coming. Sam Cohen, Jake Cohn, Henry Glick, Lily Gordon, Libby Holland, Minnie Kalo, Harry Cantor, Sidney Karen, Samuel Kimmelman, Virginia Kincaid, Lester Lyric, Shirley Levine, Francis Maisel, Samuel Mazer, Yechiel Ozer, Benjamin Peschow, Joel Pullen, Paula Ribach, Robert Ross, Anna Schwartz, Michael Shapiro, Lily Tarr, Barbara Singer-Thomas, Renee White, and Samuel Zucker. If there are any names I did not recite, please feel free to recite them out loud at this moment or within your hearts. As we turn to page 58, and those reciting Kaddish Atom, if you're able to rise, please join me. Page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, V'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, V'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Ulamei Olmaya. Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha B'rechu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechemata Da'amiran B'alma V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May be seated. As we turn to page 59, you'll find the special psalm for the High Holy Day period. We add during the month of Elul, I mentioned the shofar in the morning, and at every prayer service we add this special psalm of repentance. We will add it here as we do, and if you'd like, you can read the English words as we daven it silently. It is a beautiful psalm, and again, it's the 27th psalm, reminds us of the themes of the holiday, of getting ready for the new year, of reminding ourselves again of the priorities that we need to focus upon as we, again, get ready for Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah before that. So page 59. L'David Adonai Orishi Mimira Adonai Me'ameres. Luhulehem anti l'rut b'tuv Adonai v'eretz chayim kavei el Adonai v'chazach v'yametz lipecha v'kavei el Adonai. As we prepare for the week, we have lots going on as we celebrate Shabbat today and as we look forward to the new week. I know that, again, we have lots going on outside our walls, but we also have things going on inside our walls. So we want to remind you of the fact that we do have morning minyan every morning. We are in person for morning minyan. We are socially distanced as appropriate and masked. So we are in our chapel each morning, weekdays at 7:30, Sundays at 9. We could use your help making a minyan. If you ever have a time in the morning, you can come by for a service. 7:30, we're usually out by 8:30 on a Torah reading day. May go a couple minutes later, but whatever, you can be there and stay and help make a minyan. We'd appreciate it, because that's what we do together as we stand together as a community. So keep that in mind for me, please. And also, we even see some of our youth around. Some of them are sleeping because they probably got back from camp not long ago. They're probably tired. I know my guys are. School for many start on Monday, and we will be starting our Inda Posner Religious School very soon as well. There was paperwork to get in, though, before that, so please make sure you get your registration in. If you know people that are interested in the school, let us know. We'll give them a call. And the first day of school is going to be Wednesday, August 25th. Again, you can look at your weekly email for the link for the registration forms. We have a fabulous year being planned. We've been working hard, and we are very, very excited to welcome back all of our kids all at one time on Sunday morning in particular, instead of the split schedule we had to do last year. Again, we will be as safe with safety measures in place, as distancing as we can, and certainly with masks, so we can welcome our children back in and give them a sense of support as we go through the year. So we're very excited to start up our school once more. A few other announcements. Yes, High Holy Days are coming. If you haven't remembered that, we have lots of reminders, and one reminder is that it's time to get your High Holy Day honor requests in. If you'd like an aliyah, an ark opening, a lifting, and tying a Torah, call the office. Right now we're proceeding as we expect that we will be here and doing our thing. We will certainly be monitoring the situation with COVID and adapting as need be. But we will make those decisions very, very soon and let you know as soon as we know. Again, safety being the priority. We will do what we need to do to be safe and certainly as spiritual as we can. So keep that in mind. And on that note, I know we were going to have our welcome back weekend next weekend, where we were going to party hardy as we all welcome each other back after a very, very long year. I entered my time here as senior rabbi about a year ago, at the beginning of August, and it looks very similar to what it was a year ago. We were here in the sanctuary with a few of us and masked. We're going to do what we can, but we want to be safe. So we've kind of postponed indefinitely our big welcome back partying, but we will indeed have our clergy installation for me and Rabbi and Cantor Ken this coming Friday night. We've moved it from Saturday morning to Friday night, a shorter service, but you want to be here not for the clergy installation part, although we'd love to have you, but for the music, right? We're going to have a wonderful musical Shabbat, some extra instruments, a lot of singing, a lot of ruach, and certainly we will be able to be together here as a community and acknowledge our leadership and those who have been here to help keeping us moving forward. So that will be Friday night, next Friday night. Please join us, and we look forward to that. A couple other things just to remember. There is still teaching my journey into Judaism class for the next few weeks, as we'll take some breaks for the holidays, of course, but it is Wednesday evenings. We are meeting this Wednesday via Zoom at 7:30, so you certainly are welcome to come join if you'd like. We've been doing this since January. But you're welcome to peek in and continue to join with us as we go forward into the fall and the winter. And finally, there is a wonderful program at the Federation called Jew It Yourself. This is a PJ Library San Antonio program. They're teaming up with Jewish Learning Lab. And I know they've just started, I believe, but it's not too late to register. So check the Federation website. It's a wonderful program specifically for interfaith families. And their plan is to have some wonderful discussions about Jewish parenting in a learning and open, inclusive, and accessible manner from the comfort of your own living room. You don't even have to get dressed. You just put your slippers on, sit down at the couch in front of
Wear a shirt, though. Wear a shirt.
Well, yes, you got to, yes. Slippers and PJs.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you. No, but it is a wonderful program put on by our PJ Library here. And if you're not familiar with PJ Library, let us know and we'll tell you what we can and direct you to the right place. And then finally, we do have our continuing support network for families who have experienced a loss called B'Yachad. We started it a number of months ago. The group is facilitated by Flora Garb, who has over 40 years of experience in grief and loss counseling. And the group is continuing. They were going to move in person, but right now we're going to stay Zoom for a little bit longer. And if anyone has experienced a loss, would like some support through a group experience, please call the office. We'll get you in touch with Flora, who can give you more information and let you know what you need to know about it. So keep that in mind as well. That's just something very special for our community, and we're very fortunate to have expertise and someone willing to help us through those grief-filled experiences. So with that, I think we have pretty much gotten all of our announcements. Enough talking, right? Are we going to end with Yigdal?
I guess so, yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to thank Anthony for playing a wonderful piano, for Orit for doing a beautiful Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv. Once again, Cantor Ken will be back next week. I know you all have been kind of tag teaming, singing and harmonizing and all that fun stuff. So I tried my best, but I can't hold a candle to him. But we're doing all right. So thank you for that, and Jody, thank you for being our usher in the back today. With that, we're going to conclude on page 62. You'll find our hymn for conclusion, Yigdal, again 62.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, ימצא ויהדק אל מציאותו, אחד אין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואין לו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפל נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעונני, נויה מבית תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן והמוהל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע זתרנו, נביט לסוף דבר וקדמתו. גומל לאיש חסד והפעלו, נותן לרשע קרישתו, ישלח לעץ ימין משיחנו, לפתות מחי כקץ ישועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם תפילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם תפילתו. Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Have a wonderful Shabbat.
Thank you. It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
Been absent for a while.
Like it has so much. Shabbat shalom.
Good to see you again. Long time no see too.